Hey Claiborne, it's Friday. Last week I put together a Lego set that I am hoping at some point I can emulate in Animal Crossing. This week I want to talk about a few Animal Crossing buildings that might make good candidates to go the other way. Today I want to talk about Animal Crossing as Lego sets. I'm excited about this because a while back I talked about Lego and Nintendo's rocky relationship, and then I mentioned that while I thought Animal Crossing would make a really good intellectual property for cross-pollination, there weren't many good Animal Crossing ideas. Well, since then, a new Animal Crossing has come out in a time when people have a lot more time on their hands, so several Animal Crossing ideas have been proposed, 3 of which I think have serious potential. First, Nook's Cranny. This idea has already reached 10,000 votes, so it will at least get a review. Why do I think this makes a good set? Well, the new Animal Crossing only has a few set pieces or universal structures, and of them, Nook's Cranny is the most universally important. It is where all of the furniture, tools, and most importantly to the awkward economics of Animal Crossing, turnips are sold. Animal Crossing has a long history of shops, one that oddly hasn't translated well to New Horizons, so it is probably no surprise that the second Animal Crossing location turned Lego idea that I'd like to see is the Able Sisters, and for many of the same reasons. There's not many islands, mine is the only one that I can think of that does not have a Nook's Cranny and an Able Sisters, and they're the staple of any island visit. There's one more Animal Crossing location that makes tons of sense as a Lego set, but before I talk about it, I want to talk about the Lego idea that I don't think make sense, as well as a few locations that are not Lego ideas. First, there's a great Lego idea that captures your first arrival on the island. It's a little tent near the beach, and it's extremely well done. The reason I don't think this is a great Lego set is that for most people, again, except me, you're only in the tent for a day or two before you graduate to the house. And speaking of the house, there's also a great Lego idea for the villager's house. But I think the villager's house is probably the most unique item on the entire island, so an idea of set piecing it doesn't make a ton of sense to me, even though the idea is really well executed. That leaves 2 other locations that don't make sense to me, and it doesn't seem like they make sense to anyone else either because they don't have a Lego idea representing them. The first is the Hospitality Tent / Residence Center. You don't usually go there except to use the ATM, and it's not nearly as central to the island as the shops. And finally, there's the museum. The museum is a fantastic location in the new Animal Crossing. However, to do it justice, it would have to be huge in Lego, and it couldn't be contained in the Animal Crossing footprint. So if your home, the residence center, and the museum don't make sense as sets, what does? To me, the airport. You'll notice I mostly think that the buildings at the center of social play make the most sense as Lego sets. And that's because I think that social play is the secret center of Animal Crossing, and this Lego idea has done a great job of capturing the airport in Animal Crossing. Claiborne, I'll see you on Tuesday. And hey friends, even though I don't think the museum should be a Lego set, I do think it's probably the best building in the game. Recently, Claiborne did a video that talks about the museum in New Horizons. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend you check it out along with his other Animal Crossing videos.